Okay, I'd like us to look at some story problems here. This is still section 5.1. And so we'll finish up this worksheet here, and then we'll go on to 5.2 afterwards. So it's got three problems here that we'll look at. It says problem one. It says that Ross and Carolyn combined their DVD collection when they got married. Ross had 42 more DVDs than Carolyn had. Together, they had 148 DVDs. How many DVDs did each person have? Okay, so I got to create a system of equations. R is going to represent the number of DVDs that Ross had, and C is going to represent the number of DVDs that Carolyn had. It said that Ross has 42 more DVDs than Carolyn had. Okay, so whatever is Carolyn's collection, you're going to add 42 to that to get Ross's collection. Or that would be the first equation, R equals C plus 42. And then together they have 148 DVDs. So if I take Ross's collection plus Carolyn's collection, I get 148 total. Okay, so this would be the system there to solve. You can use any method that you want. I'd say probably avoid using the graphing method because you don't know the type of answers that you'll get there. But why don't we use the substitution method? Okay. The top equation is already solved for R. So where I see R in the bottom equation, let's go ahead and replace that with C plus 42. So I got C plus 42 plus C equals 148. C plus C is 2C. And if I subtract 42 from both sides, 148 minus 42 is 106. Divide by 2, C is 53. So Carolyn had 53 DVDs. Ross had 42 more DVDs than that. So 53 plus 42 would be 95 DVDs. Okay, and that's going to be my answer there. Okay. Problem 2 says one group of people purchased 10 hot dogs and 5 soft drinks at a cost of $35. A second group bought 7 hot dogs and 4 soft drinks at a cost of $25.25. What is the cost of a single hot dog and what is the cost of a single soft drink? Okay, I'm going to let X be the cost of a hot dog and Y be the cost of a soft drink. By the way, tell me what X and Y are, for these problems, because, how do you know what, even if it's so obvious that, R is Ross's collection and C is Carolyn's collection, tell me that, okay, because sometimes it's not so obvious. And, for something like this, I see sometimes people would say X is equal to hot dogs and Y is equal to soft drinks. No. We don't need to know the number of hot dogs and the number of soft drinks. We need to know the cost of a hot dog and the cost of a soft drink. Okay, so be specific, I guess, when you're describing X and Y for the system. Okay, so now the two equations are going to be representing these two groups. So the first group bought 10 hot dogs and 5 soft drinks and paid $35. So they bought 10 hot dogs at a cost of X dollars per hot dog, and then bought 5 soft drinks at a cost of Y dollars per soft drink. And they paid $35 total. That's the first equation. The second group bought 7 hot dogs and 4 soft drinks at a cost of $25.25. So you got 7 hot dogs at a cost of X dollars per hot dog, plus 4 soft drinks at a cost of Y dollars per soft drink, and they paid $25.25. Okay, so this here would be the system that we would need to solve. When we use the addition method, okay, or the elimination method, let's begin by eliminating Y. Okay, so to eliminate Y, I'm going to have to multiply the top equation by 4 on both sides and the bottom equation by -5 on both sides. Okay, so that's what I got. Then I'm going to add these terms together. So I got 40x minus 35x, that'd be 5x. Okay, 20y minus 20y is 0, so y is gone, that's what I wanted, right? And then 4 times 35, that'd be 140, plus negative 5 times $25.25 is, so 5 times 25.25, that should be 126.25. Okay, so if I take 140 minus 126.25, I should be getting 13.75 there on the right. Okay, so 5x equal 13.75 divided by 5, and you should be getting 2.75 exactly. Okay, so x is $2.75, so that's the cost of a hot dog. Okay, knowing the cost of a hot dog, $2.75, means that we can find the cost of a soft drink. So if I replace 2.75 into the top equation for x, I can get y. 10 times 2.75 plus 5y equals 35. 10 times 2.75, I'd slide the decimal point to the right one, and that'd be 27.5. If I subtract 27.5 from both sides, 35 minus 27.5, that's 7.5. Okay, so I'm looking at 5y equals 7.5. Divide by 5, and so y would be 1.5, or $1.50. Okay, so it's going to be $1.50 for a soft drink. Okay, and that's some of my answers. Okay, now, you know, keep in mind also that, you know, these are real life problems, right? And sometimes I see, you know, weirdo answers, like it's going to cost $1 million for one hot dog, or it's going to cost -2 cents for a soft drink, or, you know, it's something weird like that. You're not going to get these weirdo numbers. Okay, so like, you know, $2.75 for a hot dog and $1.50 for a soft drink, that sounds totally normal, right? In fact, that's the right answer there. Okay. All right, so let's try problem 3. It says Tina needs 302 inches of fabric to use as binding around a rectangular quilt that she's making. The width of the quilt is 10 inches less than the length of the quilt. Find the dimensions of the quilt. Okay, so I'm going to let L be the length and W be the width. She has 302 inches of fabric to use as binding around a rectangular quilt. Okay, in a way, they're telling me the distance around a rectangle is 302. Okay, the perimeter of a rectangle is 302. The perimeter of any rectangle would be, if I take W plus L, or 2W plus 2L, I get 302. That's the top equation. And then the second equation, it says the width of the quilt is 10 inches less than the length of the quilt. Okay, so whatever the length of the quilt is, I'll subtract 10 from that, and I get the width of the quilt. Okay, that would be the second equation there. Okay, is means equals, so the width is W equals L minus 10. Okay, and these are the two equations in the system there. So let's use the substitution method to solve this, because I've already got the second equation solved for W there, right? So let's go ahead and replace L minus 10 into the top equation where we see W. Then that way everything is in terms of L. So I got 2 times L minus 10 plus 2L equals 302. 2L and 2L is 4L minus 20. If I add 20, 302 plus 20, that's 322. Okay, and then divide by 4. 322 divided by 4 is 80.5. So the length of the quilt would be 80.5 inches, and then the width of the quilt would be 10 inches less than that, so it'd be 70.5 inches. Okay, and that'd be the answer. Okay. By the way, also in these problems, anytime you got a story problem, include the units. Okay, whether it's inches or dollars or DVDs or whatever, make sure that those are included. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and stop right there. So that's it with section 5.1. And in the next section, we'll begin 5.2.